Peace to the planet, peace to the world, peace to everybody listening, watching, YouTube and chilling. Probably just was, you know what I mean, just going through your YouTube and say, hey, let me click on this, let me see what he's talking about or whatever. So peace to y'all. Hope that y'all are good spirits. Hope everything is great as we enter this new year, 2019. Could you believe it's 2019? It's crazy. Like, years ago, if somebody would have said, you know, where would you be at in the year 2019? You'd be thinking flying cars and all these types of crazy things, and what we really have is these devices that we use, and that's basically it. We have a lot of smartphones and everything is on video, and that's pretty much the best of this this new generation. We're a smarter generation, I guess, because we have more information privy to us and to our hands, but then at the same time we're dumb. And we're also yeah, we're very dumb and very sensitive. I don't really know why we are such of a sensitive generation, but I guess that's because of the availability of so much information. So it makes it it's very weird times, as as of all the crazy things that's going on right now with this government shutdown and how crazy it is, and the federal workers who are not getting paid at this present time and having to work without getting a paycheck, and who knows if they're going to get their money in the back end. And I read something that's possibly what's going to happen. So, prayers for now, because, and then at the same time, there's poor people who are going to be without food stamps soon. And, as somebody who's been on public assistance, I can tell you that anytime money for food is essential to your family. I mean, it costs to eat, and all food is expensive, whether you buying the healthy stuff or the non-healthy stuff. They're charging you out the ass. So it's very difficult for people out there. I know people struggling who literally depend on their couple of $100s a month just to put food in the refrigerator. So I really thinking about y'all and thinking about the future of how, as far as what's going to happen, because like I was telling a friend, you have poor people who are going to be more poor, and it's only going to lead to eventual chaos, because people who are struggling to eat, they're gonna, I think there's a Tupac saying where he said, the poor eventually eats the rich, like literally eats the rich, because they were starving. So it's pray on it. Even if you're not a believer of God, just believe in something of positive energy, and hopefully we'll see better days. But as Nas said, it's gonna get worse, but we'll get through it. So that's something I always hold to my heart. I wasn't really like getting on this video to really talk about a lot of political things. I was actually thinking about music today, because I was listening to my album Sobering Thoughts, which is available now all streaming platforms, Tidal, Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you wanna press play to listen to music. It'll be on SoundCloud very soon, actually. So and it's doing very good. So I was just thinking, like, it's crazy, like, the difference between this recent album and my last two albums. I dropped In the Right Direction in 2017. It was a badly mixed album, but I only had 10 songs. And I kind of compare that to my Jay-Z 444 album, because it was badly mixed, but it was very personal. It was just something like, I had just came out the hospital, and that was like literally the first thing I do, because music is my first love. So I worked on that. It didn't come out as clean and crisp, but it was good, and I still listen to it to this day. Like, I said what I had to say. I thought it was good, and nobody said it was bad, I guess. Then I dropped the next year I dropped Bar Rescue, which was like supposed to be like, yo, all right, that last album wasn't mixed that good, but this one I'm going to go put my foot in and work hard and make it sound as great as I can. And I over bloated it with, like, I think 19 songs, and it was over an hour long of music, and I thought it was great. I got a couple people told me it was a little bit too long. It dragged on, things like that. But it made me think about the thing about artists. Like people, like artists, we get most of us like arrogant and we feel our own way about ourselves. So when we hear our own self back in music, we think it sounds great. 99.9% of the time. Like we like, yo, this fire. Just because, you know what I'm saying, it's mixed right, our vocals on beat, the beat is fire or whatever. At least we think the beat is fire because probably would have never wrote to the song. We would have never wrote to the beat if we didn't think the beat was hot. And and we played it back a couple times. Yo, this banging. But sometimes, like, this is why it's good to have real niggas around you or people who gonna keep it a buck with you, because sometimes you meet somebody saying, yeah, nah, they ain't popping. They ain't it. You think you always sound great to yourself. Like, it's inevitable. I always think I sound great. Every time I play any one of my songs, I be like, oh, this is, nigga, I'm killing that shit. Oh, this shit's crazy. 9 times out of 10, I mean, not 9 times, most of the time, it's alright. Shit's cool. It's not fire. I'm thinking it's fire. So, I think that's something like fans don't get how it comes to artists. Because I used to think back in the days even, when you listen to an album and you're like, yo, how could said artist leave the studio with that album? Like, how could that artist say, this shit is hot, and I feel comfortable with releasing this out to the public? Because he hear that shit for himself, nigga. He probably went home, banged that shit 1,000 times. Like, yo, this shit's crazy. Yo, this shit's crazy. Because he or she feels good about hearing themselves on record. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you're a creator, creating is a magical joy. Creating feels great. So once you create, it's like, nigga, you can't tell me nothing. So it's harder for, sometimes you don't hear it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of like, I remember with Tiana Taylor album dropping, she was doing her interviews and she was saying how she thought her album was gonna be released one way that she thought was great, but then when they changed it, she wasn't too happy with the changes. You know what I'm saying? It's like, cause she think it sound great, but she got her camp that's back in the studio like, nah, we gotta change this. Nah, that's not good. Nah, we can't keep that. Nah, you know what I'm saying? So that's when you have people who's actually looking out for the betterment of you and changing things up for the best. So, not everybody has that, especially not my independent artists. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have crews that we fuck with, but most of the time our crews and people we fuck with be like, yo, that shit's fire. Nah, I like that shit. Nah, I like that shit. Like, I do got people who fuck with me and tell me, like, yo, that could be changed, this and that. I might not want to hear it all the time, but I hear it. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? This is just like really for my artists. Like, I know y'all understand that and get that, So I just was talking to y'all. So I'm gonna keep this short and sweet. Like I said, I want to keep this up. On a personal note, been losing a couple of pounds. I ain't gonna talk about that too much in detail, but I hope everybody is doing what they gotta do, and you gotta be war ready for. Who knows what's going to happen next. So you got to be fit. You got to be able to run around. You got to have a sharp mind because you just don't know. So have yourself a great day, evening, or whenever you're checking this. Be sure to like and subscribe. It's S the Mogul. And till next time. Peace.